Good morning. Boker Tov. How are you? It's bright and it's shiny. It's cold, but the sun is shining and that's a good thing. So, today, on Torah Tuesday, we're not doing the Parsha. We're going to do Hanukkah. You wondered about donuts and the thing, huh? Mm-hmm. And we got dreidels too. We got a Hanukkah. We got donuts, Sauvignon, and we got a dreidel. We're going to talk about Hanukkah, okay? Because Hanukkah starts when? Thursday night. This Thursday night, okay? And it goes for how long? 8 days, okay? So let's get a couple of things straight, right? First of all, Hanukkah has nothing to do with Christmas. Nothing. Okay? It happens to fall in December most of the time, but that's it. Beginning, end. No relationship, period. Okay? If it wasn't for all those presents that you give on Christmas, we wouldn't give presents on Hanukkah either. Let me explain. Okay? Hanukkah is the miracle of lights or the commemoration of the holiday of oil. Okay? What happened was Judas Maccabee led the Maccabean revolt in approximately 69 CE. CE, that's Common Era. Okay? So, what's going on here? Okay? He led the revolt because the Greeks had taken over Jerusalem, pillaged the temple, okay, and there was no supplies going in or out, and there was only enough oil to last for one day. Okay, that's how the candles, that's how the temple, the Holy of Holies was lit with oil. Okay? There was only enough oil for one day, one barrel. Okay? And the miracle is that it lasted 8. Okay? So, you can use candles. Mine's electric because they don't want me burning the place down. But your Hanukkah or your menorah has 8. Okay? 4, 4, and 1 for the shamus. The shamus is the leader or the helper. I like the helper translation myself. Okay? When you light the candles, you light the shamus, and then the shamus lights the other candles. Okay? So, when you load them, if you're using candles, okay, you start right to left, but you load them, you put them in right to left, but you actually light them left to right. But first thing you do is you light the shamus, okay? But I digress. Why are we doing this? Before we get into all that good stuff, okay? Let's stay with what the miracle is, okay? The miracle of light, okay? The lack of oil. So, Judas Maccabee led this revolt, and they're all holed up in the temple because they're under siege. Now, why was it such a big deal? Why did Judas Maccabee lead a revolt? Because they weren't allowed to study. They weren't allowed to study Torah. They weren't allowed to study any of the holy books, anything. Okay? So, this is what the revolt was for. So why all this goodies? Why all this stuff? Okay? Well, the Hanukkah is to remember, and every night we light a candle and we say a blessing. We'll get to that in a second. But since it's the celebration of oil or the lack of oil, the miracle of the oil lasted 8 days when there was only enough for one. Okay? Here's where the donuts come in. Okay? They're fried. Everything we do about it with food is fried. And yes, we are into our food. Duh. Okay? So, we have donuts. Now, what's really cool, especially in Israel, we have jelly donuts because not only is it fried, but the jelly is sweet. Okay? So we have donuts. We usually eat latkes, potato pancakes, because potato pancakes are fried in oil. See the theme going here? Okay? It's dermatologists love this time of year. It's great on your skin. Okay? And we play a game. One of the games we play is dreidel. Okay? Four-sided top that has a Hebrew letter on each side. Now, if you take these Hebrew letters, Shin, Nun, Gimel, and Hey, and if you put them in the right order, starting with Hey, it says, it translates to a great miracle happened here. Okay, and what's the miracle? The miracle of oil. Okay, see how it all comes around? Now, what's with the top? Okay, the dreidel. Okay, the game of dreidel has a couple of different meanings, but the one I really like is when the soldiers would come into town to see if you were studying and being good boys and girls and pay your taxes. They would come into town. Well, what they would do is the parents would go inside and they would study the text. And they'd leave the kids outside playing dreidel. Well, what happened? Every time you win, each letter, there's win, there's clear the pot, there's double the pot, and there's everything has all the symbols have a place for when you're playing the game. Okay, so when they're playing the game, there's lots of yelling and screaming. Well, there's a special code on a special letter that if the soldiers were coming, the kids would yell this letter, and that would alert the parents who were inside studying. They would put the text away, they would hide everything, and they'd act like they're having dinner or something like that, a meal or something like that. So when the soldiers come marching in, and of course they're very gruff and you know what, when they come do their thing, of course, the parents are innocent, the kids are innocent outside playing their game, and the soldiers go on their way. Okay? Otherwise, the text would be confiscated, they'd be arrested, and it wouldn't be pretty. Okay? So that's what's going on with that. That's why we've got the game of dreidel, and that's why we're eating the donuts, and we're eating the latkes, and all that good stuff. Okay? So, let's do the blessings. When we do the blessings, remember we put the candles right to left, but we're lighting them left to right. Okay, so for example, the first night, the shamus, and then this guy, and then the second night, the shamus, this guy, and this guy. But when we light it, it's this guy and then this guy. Make sense? I hope so. Okay, and then each night we say blessings. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahik ner shel Hanukkah. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the Hanukkah lights. Okay? And then we also say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim levatenu v'imutenu ba'amim ha'amim b'zman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of all, who performed wondrous deeds for our ancestors the days of old, at this season. Now the first night, just the first night, okay, we say Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehekianu v'kiyanu v'higiyanu l'zman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of all, who has kept us alive, sustained us, and brought us to this season. Now that's the shehekianu prayer. Now the shehekianu is always said when we're happy, never when we're sad, always when we're happy. Thanking God for bringing us here. When we're having a celebration, when we're having a wedding, when we're having a holiday, anything like that. Anything that, when something good happens, we do the shehekianu. Okay? So that's only on the first night. The rest of the time we say those other two. Okay? Presents. Most families nowadays do presents. Big presents, maybe. Little presents, probably. But if it wasn't for that other holiday, seriously. If it wasn't for Christmas, it wouldn't be such a big deal. Okay? This was not as a big a deal until we came to America and all the little Christian kids were doing their thing, and all the Jewish kids were like, what about us? Okay? So Hanukkah became more prominent. Okay? Now, it's always been a holiday, and it's always been important. Okay? Don't let me lessen its importance. Okay? Remember, it's the festival of light, and it's the miracle of the oil. Okay? So what does it mean? What is the meaning behind it? Yeah, obviously, if it's not for presents, what is the meaning behind it? Okay? Well, we only had oil for one night, and God gave us oil for 8 until the reinforcements could come, and they could light the Ner Tamid. They could light the lights again at the temple. Okay? So what's the big deal? Okay? What does that mean to us today? Okay? Think about it. It's optimism. Okay? Work, wait, work hard, and good things will happen. Okay? Got it? Okay. So, that's my story, and that's Hanukkah. Did I forget anything? Probably. Okay? The other thing about Hanukkah, before I forget, is family. Okay? The family gets together. The family lights the lights, and the family has dinner. Okay? Fried foods. Maybe a chicken, maybe a roast, something out of the ordinary. Okay? Something festive, something out of the ordinary. And, of course, lots of fried food. Okay? I forgot one very important thing. When you light the Hanukkah lights, okay, you're not supposed to put them out. You're supposed to go out just like Shabbos lights, just like Shabbat lights. You're not supposed to blow them out. But in the Hanukkah, okay, the menorah could be called, the Hanukkah could be Hanukkah or menorah, okay? You're supposed to put in the front window of your house so that all your neighbors, so that everybody can see it. And why? That shows, one, it's a Jewish household, and two, you're sharing the mitzvah. You're sharing that you lit the candles and you're remembering the miracle of Hanukkah. Cool, huh? So, I hope I did Hanukkah justice. And I hope you learned something. And I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I've got candles sticking out of my nose here. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I will see you next Tuesday for Torah Tuesday. Okay? And have a good week. Chag Sameach Hanukkah, starting Thursday night. Okay? Happy holiday Hanukkah. And have a good Shabbat. And I will see you next Tuesday for Torah Tuesday. Peace out.